Hello again, guys. It's Captain Ashburo. How I'm doing one of my first movie wish lists. This is where I take an upcoming movie based on something from my childhood or a current interest of mine, and I feel my things on it, or what I'm like to see in it. So, I'm going to talk about how the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that's coming out next year. Here, I've been born. I grew up in the '90s, so I really love the Ninja Turtles. There were comics, video games, there were action figures, and of course, we could forget the cartoon series. So naturally, in 1990, decided to make a movie out of this whole thing. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie is currently the highest grossing entry to date. Really, he captured what should be the canon central Ninja Turtles movie. I mean, and the fight scenes were really great, thanks to Jim Henson's costuming, and it was really good. Shock, but it was also really fun to actually hear the Turtles use words like "damn" and "him" in the movie theater. And so naturally, big of this as it was, decided to do another one. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze. It was definitely an unconventional Ninja Turtles movie. I mean, and instead of using some of the traditional weapons like the nunchaku, the katana, sword, the side daggers, and the bow staff, they used stuff like sausages, yo-yos, foam bats, and some ties to fight people. They definitely didn't swear again. And in the first movie, they just sort of fought how they were normal foot soldiers, but in this one, they actually fought two demons called Toka and Mazar. We tended to refer to them as Bebop and Rocksteady because we were attached to the cartoon a lot, but to clear that up, Bebop and Rocksteady were Warthog and Rhinoceros, where Toka and Mazar were actually Snapping Turtle and a Wolf. So, naturally, we knew there's going to be another Ninja Turtles movie, but that's where it sort of got bad. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. Trying to get the angle here. Yeah, that was definitely the worst of the original trilogy, and the movie I really think should have done without the way they executed it badly. The animatronics, the costumes were a lot worse. And studying in ancient Japan definitely did not fit the series. It really just didn't even feel like the Ninja Turtles movie. It just felt off. So naturally, that technically killed Ninja Turtles movies for a while. But in 2003, there was another cartoon series done by the infamous 4Kids, but they actually did a good job with it. It was not true to the comics. Where they had stuff like that. So I didn't really expect another movie, but TMNT, 2007 CGI movie. I mean, actually sort of had a lot darker story with the Ninja Turtles, but for some reason a lot of people didn't really go for that all the mysticism regarding the plot. They kind of just made it about the Turtles. It didn't really need this whole thing with the giant monsters and statues. But it was another big hit. So now they're doing another Ninja Turtles movie, but this time it's going to be live action, and the Turtles are going to be in CGI. So it's intended to be darker, but I actually wouldn't mind if they try to incorporate more elements from the 1987 show in there. So here's what I actually want for this Ninja Turtles movie. First thing, I want the movie to take itself seriously, but not too seriously. I know the comics were very violent books, even though I never actually read them, but I think the intent of Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird was to make them a sort of a satire of all the Frank Miller stories and Alan Moore stories that were going on at the time when it came out. So I'd like it if they made it dark, but also tried to include some satirical elements in it, stuff that movies like Kick-Ass and Scott Pilgrim vs. World did pretty good with. And, and, and second, I'd also like to try and see something with the Ultron race. I experimented that with the 2003 show, but I did some research, and one of the plot points for the second movie before it was thrown out, that was as the professor, and it was actually going to be Ultron, and the green ooze was about related to the Ultron race, but the screenwriters essentially just threw that story out because people were familiar with the cartoon. They thought that people were assuming they mistake the Ultron for Krang. And there's another thing that's moving on to number 3. Yeah, I'd like to try them to see and do something with Krang. Don't care if it's animatronic or CGI. I mean, Krang was by no means my character. I mean, I'm sure he was essentially the main villain on the show. Oh, that would definitely. No, he's definitely good for some jokes, and actually did get pretty good in some of the later episodes in the series. Yes, also, I'd like. Okay. Hey, and given though I'm not so sure about this next one, given that we're nearing 10th anniversary 9/11, and the action about foreign sorts cash out content in New York is sort of mixed right now. In fact, Day After Tomorrow and Cloverfield, movies I either didn't seem to really care for. I actually literally try this. Number 4, they try to do something with the Technodrome with other Ultron tech. Maybe have them do something with go invade the city here in New York, do some damage. The Turtles on Scarlet trying to stop it. I'm definitely geeking out a bit here. Yeah. Okay, so some potential casting choices I might like. I really think they just get some good voices for the Turtles and the mocap artists. I like it if they got people that knew martial arts. That's actually how handle the weapons they were using. Okay. Splinter, I'd like to try. I recommend Ken Watanabe. I've seen his work in a lot of Christopher Nolan's movies like Batman Begins and Inception, and he seems to be a good dramatic actor. He manages to understand and take something seriously. Also, so he has actually displayed some considerable martial arts powers. I mean, think back to the first movie that Shredder totally decimated the Turtles, and it was Splinter that ended up taking him out in that movie. And so that could definitely make for some sort of situation here. I mean, that's another thing. For Shredder, I'd recommend maybe Jet Li. He's normally playing the hero in a lot of martial arts movies he's in, but look, thinking stuff like War with Jason Statham, and thinking of the movies, he's like The Forbidden Kingdom. He actually has played a villain a couple times. He actually is pretty good at it. That would actually be a relatively nice casting choice. Think this next casting choice is going to tie out with my number 6, Next Wish. Oh, sorry, different computer recording this time. Not used to this webcam. So next casting choice is this is going to be a big one for April O'Neil. Like if they did hit Olivia Wilde. I think anyone who's seen watched House or seen Tron Legacy knows she's actually a relatively good actress. Yes, and Cora was definitely one of the better points of Tron Legacy. After a few rewatches, I see kind of niche wearing off, but I still like the movie. And for number 6 wish, definitely like to have April be a bit more active role. Well, I mean, 1987 show, granted she was hot. She was one of the first nerd fantasies I ever heard, but that she, Damsel in Distress dolls, it's cliche. I really don't like making movies or TV shows. As I like women to have more active roles. 2003 show, the comics, she definitely had one active role. Well, it's also tied in the 2007 movie. She was in a lot of fights. Yes. Yes. Think maybe. And not. Okay. And I think also. For the next movie, at my final wish, number 7, heaven for this. So there's like it if they did made it in the summer release. Yes, I mean, traditionally the Ninja Turtles movies come out in March. It's been like that ever since the first movie came out in 1990. But summer releases have actually been pretty good for comic movies. You think to Spider-Man and movies, Dark Knight, Iron Man, and not that that's just what I like, but they think they can do all the monsters better too. I mean, I think a lot of comic books are coming out that month, like 300, Watchmen, Sin City. They actually managed to cover different niche groups and actually do okay at the box office, but I think next summer people are going to be out of school. Yes. And after spending some time in college, I never thought I'd be doing this. 19 years old, talking about the Ninja Turtles on YouTube. Sorry. Asperger's syndrome, it's definitely high functioning, but anyway, those are my wishes. This is for the new Ninja Turtles live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie coming next year. I'm keeping it spirit, and I'll see you next time.